Hey everybody, this is Brett Lewis from L4 Group, and today we're going to be talking about air conditioning. It's that time of season, and I think actually tomorrow and the next day we're supposed to get up into the high 70s, low 80s. So definitely going to be kicking on air conditioning, to stay comfortable. So today I have Steve Ohl from RF Ohl, and he has a company that installs and services air conditioning systems. So Steve, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So why don't we start out with, just give everybody a brief background about, how you got involved in the HVAC servicing and installation business.
Yeah, we did heating oil and propane for quite a few years, and we had also done other HVAC work, and I believe it was 2008, somewhere around there. Customers were really saying they were having trouble finding people to install air conditioning, and we had technicians that were able to do air conditioning, just we had not really concentrated on it to that point. And we saw the need, and the customers were asking for it, and we thought, hey, this will be great for both of us. Give us plenty of work in the summertime, and we're already in the homes doing the heating system, so it's just a kind of a natural fit. And that's how we got into the air conditioning business, and we installed a lot of systems over the years since then, and the mini split systems, like you see behind me, are great. That's the one that we get asked about the most. So that kind of got us started in the air conditioning business. But that's basically how we got started.
Oh, very cool. So with the season, coming up into, we're in the midst of spring, headed in the summer. Can you give our guys, any of our viewers, tips on, what they can do to get their air conditioning systems ready for the summer?
Well, checking the outdoor units is important. Even a mini split, the outdoor unit, the whole central system, your outside unit, make sure it's full. There's no debris around it. There's no sticks, sticking in the top of the fan. We've seen that before, from the winter and leaves blowing around. Also, make sure you have a good, you know, brush clearance from brush and shrubs around the outdoor unit. You should have at least 2-3 feet around there. Checking your inside, make sure the air filters are clean. If you have cleanable, scrubbable air filters, make sure you take care of that. If they're a replacement type, put a new one in. It's a good idea to do that every few months, and definitely check on them, especially if there's an environment of dust and pollen, and you have pets, things like that all affect it. Remember to call and schedule your tune-up. You want to definitely get that done and get in there early, because the first day, like you mentioned, Monday, I think it's supposed to be 83 degrees. I'm sure the phone lines will be lit up and everybody will be calling for tune-up appointments. So, make sure you get in there early and get that taken care of. But usually you can save about 10%, up to 10% on your cooling costs for, the summer months by having the tune-up done early. So, those are the basic things. One other thing, check your thermostat. That's one thing that we get a call on a lot. Make sure the batteries have been replaced and that it's functioning properly if you have a digital thermostat. Otherwise, just make sure you turn it on to cooling setting if you have cooling and you want it to cool, because that's a common thing too, is people forget they have it on the heating setting and they forget to turn it to cool if you have that type of thermostat. So just a couple of
Right.
things.
Yeah, that makes sense. How about also? I know some systems have humidifiers. So there's a switch on there, isn't there, to flip over to the summer season?
Yeah, and some are, depending on the unit, they're auto sensing, but yeah, you definitely want to make sure you check that out. And those have filters in also that some of them are cleanable, and others have to be replaced. And honest, just call your HVAC provider and ask them some questions. They'll be more than happy to answer it. I mean, we don't charge anything for a phone call, so give us a call and we'll happily answer any questions you have, or give you some tips if you're, just looking at, hey, what do I got to do to start this thing up? So, or especially if you're a new homeowner, and you've never had an air conditioning system before. Doesn't hurt. Just give us a call. And we don't care who installed your system. You can call us, and we'll gladly walk you through the setup process.
Okay, cool, cool. So now, if someone's in a situation where they have to get an AC system replaced, what kind of turnaround time would they be looking at? What kind of disruption would they have in their home during the installation process?
Well, a mini split system is usually a day or two. It's usually less than a day. It could even be half a day. It just depends on the number of what they call head units, like what you see behind me. That's a head unit that would go inside of a home. So it depends on the number of rooms and so forth. But typically, a mini split system, the average probably a day. Usually not more than that. Now, if you go to a central system and it's just a replacement, then again, usually a day. It depends on electrical configuration, upgrades, different things like that. A whole new installation for ducted system, whole house, you could be 2 to 3 days on that. Some have been more, but in general, you're going to be running duct work and things. It's going to be a little more labor involved. But that would be a typical installation. And we do before we do the job, we give you an estimated time that you'll need, if you have to be home or have a relative there or take off of work, something like that. We want to respect everybody's time and get it completed under time or, on time.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So now, it's a big investment, when someone's installing a new system, and also just preserving the existing system and having it serviced. So, what are some tips that you can give consumers when they don't have a contractor already and they need to go find a good HVAC contractor to either do a servicing or an installation of their system?
Well, the first step would be you could probably check with a friend or a neighbor because they've probably had some work done, or a coworker, somebody like that I'm sure you've heard, somebody that had an installation done for air conditioning system. So starting there, and then do a little bit of your own research, make sure the company fits, the way you want to have the job done. Most companies should offer a free estimate. They should have 24-hour service because you're going to eventually need service on the unit. You're going to need to have it tuned up every year, the annual maintenance. So that'll be important. Make sure they're available 24 hours a day because you never know, what's going to happen. Typically, you come home at 5 o'clock, 5:30 at night, and that's when you discover that your air conditioning heater isn't working. So you don't want to call somebody and their machine says, "Oh, we're only open from 8 a.m. to 4:30," and you can't get a hold of them. They have no after-hours number. So like with us, for instance, you get 24 hours, a live person will answer the phone. The other thing is, make sure they're going to be a reasonable time expectation of how they're going to perform the job. Don't take answers like, well, we think it might take up to a week, or they should be able to nail it down within a day or two. And that's going to be important. You don't want a job to drag out a month, which I've heard, stories of that happening. The other thing, probably, a good reputation. Check online, go online, check out their website. The availability of convenience online is important today. That you can reach somebody just about any time or day. So you can go online and check out their web presence and make sure they have a good website that's user-friendly. Check out the longevity. Obviously, you want to have somebody that's been in business a long time. You're investing a lot of money into a system. You want to make sure that it's a good investment, obviously, but you want to make sure that somebody's going to be there to back up the product they installed. Let's see. Probably the other thing would be check on the the quality of work that they've done with your friend or neighbor who's done it, or call them and ask for certain references. Oh, there goes my energy saving.
That's great. You're not moving, the lights automatically turn off. That's cool.
Yeah, I gotta wave my hand every once in a while. We always keep moving. That's the theory. Keep moving.
Yes.
But yeah, the quality of work is important. So you could ask for referrals. Anybody in business should be able to provide some referrals or customers that are happy with their work. That's another important thing.
Yeah, and I'll add in there, check on Facebook as well. I mean, if the company's active, a lot of their customers are going to be following them on their Facebook page, and you can get a sense of, what they're doing just by that.
Yeah, it's amazing how some of the extremely large companies out there have. We just had a discussion on this. The Facebook set on autoresponder, and customers are on Facebook asking questions, and there's like 18 questions in a row, and the same answer is given to the 18, all questions. So it's just
Oh, wow.
funny. And actually, you mentioned that we actually have a dedicated person to our Facebook account that if there's a question comes in and they're available, they will answer it right away or put you in touch with the right person who can help you. So I know we have a pretty active Facebook customer.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, so speaking of your services, so you've got a pretty broad service area in Pennsylvania. Can you talk about what counties you touch on?
Yeah, we're in Carbon County, Lehigh County, Northampton County, Schuykill County, and Monroe County. We basically cover about a 50-mile radius of Lehighton.
And you're based in Lehighton.
Yeah, we're based in Lehighton.
Yeah, and at your office, you actually have a showroom, and people can come in and take a look at some of the equipment. And you also do, aside from HVAC, and you started out saying, you deliver oil and fuel, but you also have a hearth and patio showroom. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we have hearth and patio showroom. We have retractable awnings. We have patio furniture, barbecue grills by Weber, and charcoal grills. We have salsas and spices, all kinds of grill accessories. We have fire pits. We have HVAC systems on display, mini splits like behind me. I'm actually sitting in we have a dedicated room that is all heating and cooling. So if customers want to come in and we call it kicking the tires, and they want to see what the product looks like, we have all that here so they can come in and test it out. We can come in and sit in the patio furniture if you want to check it out and check out how retractable awning works, all those, fire pits, things like that you want to kind of test drive before you buy them. You can come in and do that. We have an outdoor room actually set up inside of our showroom to give you the feel of, what it would be like to have, that outdoor presence at your house. So it's pretty interesting, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy these products. It's kind of a break from the winter, and it comes around and everybody's happy, when they get a grill or an air conditioning system. So it's it's a little bit, I kind of joke about it, but it's it's the fun side of RFO. We always like to have fun, but coming in here and we have coffee, and we even have beer samples from the Red Castle Brewery. So if customers come in and they want to test out the new beer of the month, stop on by. Just make everybody comfortable when they come into the showroom, and we're a relaxed company and we're not high pressure, so anybody can walk in here and look around.
Yeah, that's great. I'm expecting that, in one of these interviews that we do, you're going to be telling me that you're starting up your own brewery, along with the outdoor stuff.
That would be fun, but I've seen the process. It's a lot of work.
Right.
Even earlier than I'm doing this interview, you got to get up earlier than that and start the brewing process. So
yep.
I think I'll enjoy the drinking side of the tasting of the beer, but I don't know about going into the brewery.
Right, exactly. So okay. So just to wrap up, can you give us any idea of any special offers that you might be running, especially as they pertain to air conditioning?
Yeah, right now we have $300 off the installation of an air conditioning system, whether it's a mini split system or a whole house air conditioning system. We also have many financing options, 0% up to 84 months. We also have, if you have an existing system and you want to get a annual tune-up and the maintenance done, right now we have a $99 air conditioning tune-up special going on. A lot of people take advantage of that. but I would urge you to call, early and, make sure you make that appointment, and check out, do the preventive maintenance and check out the system before you really need it. That's the main message, is because every HVAC contractor in the Lehigh Valley, 50-mile radius of us, I'm sure is going to be busy on that day. But we will try to fit everybody in that we can. And we also have tune-up plans that you can get on a tune-up plan for annual maintenance. And we contact you and schedule a tune-up ahead of time so that you're on the list. And that way, every year you're taken care of, and hopefully we can spot any issues before they happen. So that's another offer that's out there.
That's awesome. That's that preventative maintenance to get that thing going. Make sure that you're not stuck on a hot day, having to camp out in the basement because your system's down, and you find out at 11 o'clock at night. So staying on top of things is definitely good.
Yeah, it's important.
So, all right, awesome. Well, Steve, I want to say thanks for taking this time to talk about air conditioning and give our viewers some tips on what they can do to make sure that they're getting the best service and staying cool this summer.
No, you're welcome.
All right, have a good one.
All right, we'll see you.
Take care.
Bye.